here than the normal Windows Form applications that you are used to, especially the designing aspects of it, because you are actually working with a website. So just one thing before we get started, just remember, when you are creating an ASP.NET web application, remember to choose the one with the C#, because earlier when I prepared for the video, I accidentally clicked on the one with Visual Basic and I didn't notice it, and that gave me a lot of errors. So remember, it's the ASP.NET web application .NET framework C#. Okay, so I'm just going to save it on the desktop, create empty ASP.NET web application, create. So once again, I'm not going to do much coding. I'm just going to show you how you may want to design or approach some of the controls that we are going to be working with. Okay, so now you can see we have our web application, and the first thing you need to do is you need to add a web form to the application. And to do that, you're going to go to Project, Add New Item, Web Form, and the first one is always called Default. Here on the right hand side you can see it added the default.asp.x, and when you drop down you can see the C# file as well as the designer file. So here in the main section you can see we are in this source. So this is the HTML that was generated by the web form, and as we are going to insert controls on our design view, which you can switch to here at the bottom, is going to add the HTML automatically for us. Okay, so let's add a quick label, dragging and dropping, and as you can see in our source, it added the label source code for us automatically. Okay, and as far as the label concerned, it's pretty much straightforward as our Windows Form applications. Let's make the font a bit bigger. So if I want to align this in the middle of the web page, I'm going to click on it, and here at the top you're going to justify it center. Okay, let's just bold that as well because it is a title. And next I'm just going to insert an image. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to drag and drop from my other screen, which you guys are not going to see, but I'm just dragging an image with the extension .jpeg or .png, and I'm just dragging it to my web application. Okay, and there you can see it added the JPEG. So simple for adding an image. Click on the image in its property, go to image URL, and then you can see the dice I've just imported or dragged and dropped. I also want to align this in the middle of my web page, so I have it selected and go on the top and I say center. Okay. Next I want to show you is a pretty handy control, is the table control, but make sure you choose the HTML one. Now the table makes it essentially easier for you to organize your controls, because a web page, it can jump around a lot and not align a line, and essentially make your website not look so great. So I always use a table just for that bit of organization. So we can add a label again, and I'm dragging it to the first column, and the text, let's just make it a quick username. And you guys can see it almost made my first column full width, so I'm just going to the column line and I'm just dragging it to the width I want it to be, and I want to align this right, and then I'm just going to add a text box to the second column, and as easy as that. So a very important aspect, as you will see later on in the video, is the post back or the auto post back method that the web application as this ASP.NET website uses. So as you can see, when I run this in my Firefox, and for the first time you are going to get an error of this, just click advanced and accept risk and continue. And I do recommend not testing your website in Internet Explorer or Edge. I recommend using Firefox or Chrome. Okay, just for the record. Okay, so as you can see, when I type in a text box, nothing happens with my web page. Okay, but let me add a button. When I add a button, and even though when I double click, we're going to go to the C# code, and you can see there's nothing in my method, in my button one on click method. So if I run it now, you're going to see every time I press the button, my web page is going to essentially refresh. Okay, so I click on it. As you can see there at the top, it is refreshing. Okay, even though there's no code under my button on click event. That is the auto post back of the website. Very important. So you will see what I mean later on in the video. So let's just move on. Let's have another label. Let me just drag this one to there, and I'm going to have my output label here at the center. Text is blank. The IB is label output. Let's make this txt username. So in my button click event, very simple. I'm just going to say my label output.text is equal to my txt username dot text. Very straightforward. Okay, let's just test that real quick. Okay, no problem there. So the second thing I want to show you, and that's a bit tricky in ASP.NET, is radio buttons. So